Tom, since Owain's not got any F1 rules to give us, how about yourself?
Well, I went down the rules for F1, not for drivers as well. So I don't know if I misinterpreted the question, but there's a few in there. Like one thing, I would really love to see this postseason rookie test. And I know we probably are going to get it. This rookie race, not test. Sorry, I know we probably are going to get it at some point, but I just think that's really important for F1. That is going to be really good content for a lot of people and quite valuable for the young drivers as well. I can understand why it didn't happen this year, but I definitely think there needs to be something they need to push for the future. I would actually like to see a like one slot on the calendar that is left open, like, and it's you find out where it is quite late, obviously not too late because people have got to buy tickets. It's completely funded by F1, so there's no worries about what's about getting funding from the government or anything like that. So there's no sanctioning fees. They just got paid to have it there, and it changes every year. It can't be the same. It can't be the same one every year. So it has to be at least every 2 or 3 year rotation. So you might find out in January that in September we're going to Brands Hatch, or something like that, just completely random. And it's and obviously it has to be meet safety standards or anything like that. So Brands Hatch probably not a good choice, but then you might get things that we were talking about earlier, like that one-off in Magello or back in Istanbul Park, something like that. I've been championing this for years, way back in sort of 2018, 2019, when we started seeing these horrible bland tracks like Valencia coming onto the calendar and just horrible, just tracks that you knew were only going to last a couple of years. I'm just like, well, why not just do this like rotating thing where they can try it and be like, let's have a street race in Vietnam, see if it works, and if it doesn't work, then okay, we tried it, we've done it in this one slot, we haven't invested loads of money in it, we haven't wrecked the economy for the next 20 years. We had a crazy race that year in F1, but it didn't work, so we move on. Or do you know what? That was a blinding race. Let's put some money into it. Let's make it happen in 3 years' time, and then it gets on the calendar or shares a slot. It does every other year or something like that. I think that's a great way to get tracks on the circuit. It's not going to offend people. We're saying, oh, you're taking a slot away from your Paul Ricard, because everyone loves Paul Ricard. So I just think it's the better way to do it. If we just have that slots and people are just not going to get offended by it, we can give it a try. There's no stress, no hassle, and if it doesn't work, we move on. But to be honest, we have enough dead rubber races as it is sometimes that I think if we have one in there that could be good and is an unknown, I think it just adds that jeopardy. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's not a problem. But yeah, that's my one there. But I would say I would actually love to see, this is going to be controversial, more sprint races. I know a lot of people don't like them, but I love the weekends when they got the sprint format. So I would actually like to see more sprint races from next year.
I just think they need to have a different format for the sprint. Like, I don't think the sprint works yet. Like, we've had some okay sprints, but like we've had two okay sprints, I think it is really. But they just end up, excuse me, they just end up like mirroring the first stint of the race, I find, but a bit more cautiously. And then it makes the race the next day a little bit more predictable.
I
I've got a
don't
big
think
brain
so this
idea.
year though. With now they've opened up Park Ferme. I think I love. I don't love the sprints. I love the sprint weekends. I love the content you get from the sprint weekends. The sprint itself, yeah, I'm not massively in favour of, but the races after the sprints, I don't know why, but the races after the sprints generally are really good. When you compare the sprints to the races are always better, but there's just something about those sprint weekends. They're always good, and I
Yeah.
don't know what it is. So I just want more of them.
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
mean, certainly having sorry, Owen, having competitive action on 3 days of the weekend, like compared to just two, is certainly an improvement, I think.